Hi there, I'm the Reverend Danny Crosby, a Unitarian minister serving congregations in Altrincham and in Urmston in the northwest of England, and I offer this devotion as a balm for the heart, for the mind, for the spirit, and for the soul. And it's titled The Little Prince and His Rose. And I'm going to begin actually by sharing a short extract from the classic children's book, The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupery. In this short extract, the little prince is meeting the fox for the second time, and their conversation about what it means to be tamed, the conversation continues the second time that they meet. So it begins. The next day, the little prince came back. It would have been better to come back at the same hour, said the fox. If, for example, you come at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then at 3 o'clock I shall begin to be happy. I shall feel happier and happier as the hour advances. At 4 o'clock I shall already be worrying and jumping about. I shall show you how happy I am. But if you come at just any time, I shall never know at what hour my heart is to be ready to greet you. One must observe the proper rites. What is a rite? Asked the little prince. Those also are actions too often neglected, said the fox. There are what make one day different from other days, 1 hour from other hours. There is a rite, for example, among my hunters. Every Thursday they dance with the village girls. So Thursday is a wonderful day for me. I can take a walk as far as the vineyards. But if the hunters danced at just any time, every day would be like every other day, and I should never have any vacation at all. So the little prince tamed the fox, and when the hour of his departure drew near, "Ah," said the fox, "I shall cry." "It is your own fault," said the little prince. "I never wished you any sort of harm, but you wanted me to tame you." "Yes, that is so," said the fox. "But now you are going to cry," said the little prince. "Yes, that is so," said the fox. "Then it has done you no good at all." "It has done me good," said the fox, "because of the colour of the wheat fields." And then he added, "Go and look again at the roses. You will understand now that yours is unique in all the world. Then come back to say goodbye to me, and I will make you a present of a secret." The little prince went away to look at the roses. "You are not at all like my rose," he said. "As yet you are nothing. No one has tamed you, and you have tamed no one. You are like my fox when I first knew him. He was only a fox like 100,000 other foxes, but I have made him my friend, and now he is unique in all the world." And the roses were very much embarrassed. "You are beautiful, but you are empty," he went on. "One could not die for you. To be sure, an ordinary passer-by would think that my rose looked just like you, the rose that belongs to me. But in herself alone she is more important than all the hundreds of you other roses, because it is she that I have watered, because it is she that I have put under the glass globe, because it is she that I have sheltered behind the screen, because it is for her that I have killed the caterpillars, except for 2 or 3 that we saved to become butterflies, because it is she that I have listened to when she grumbled or boasted, or even sometimes when she said nothing, because she is my rose." And and he went back to meet the fox. "Goodbye," he said. "Goodbye," said the fox. Now here is my secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. What is essential is invisible to the eye, the little prince repeated, so that he would be sure to remember. It is the time you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important. It is the time I have wasted for my rose, said the little prince, so that he would remember. Men have forgotten this truth, said the fox, but you must not forget it. You must become responsible forever for what you have tamed. You are responsible for your rose. I am responsible for my rose, the little prince repeated, so that he would be sure to remember. So a short extract there from the wonderful The Little Prince. At a recent Living the Questions group, we explored the subject of duty. It was a fascinating conversation, but I noticed I had some internal resistance to the concept of duty. I much prefer the idea of being responsible, of taking care of what is mine to take care of. The idea of duty, though, not so much, as duty feels like something that's imposed upon you. For me to take responsibility, to take care, feels like an act of love. And I suspect that this is what being described in the excerpt from The Little Prince that I just shared, this idea of being tamed, is about. This is what the fox meant when he talked about taming. And that's another word that I feel somewhat uncomfortable with, I have to say. I understand what they mean in this context, but there's a part of me that doesn't like it. I know that what they mean is to love, to care, to nurture, to make special, as the prince had done with his rose. The children's novel The Little Prince tells the story of a prince who grows frustrated with a rose that he adores, and so he leaves his home planet, travels to several asteroids before running into a recently crashed pilot on Earth. He tells the pilot about his rose, how it sprouted and bloomed on his planet, and how he quickly fell in love with it, despite the rose's vanity and manipulation. The prince cares for the rose, watering her and keeping her safe and warm under a glass globe. In time he felt saddened and used, and fled his planet in search for a cure for loneliness. He told the pilot of the people that he met on his journey, what he learned from the encounters, and of his great responsibility for the rose. He tells of his hope to return one day to his planet to take care of his rose. It's actually not clear in the novel and the story whether this actually happened. It's left open, really. Maybe a sequel, eh? Despite all the rose's shortcomings, the prince loves his rose, and this is what's at the heart of the story, actually. There is a moment in the story when the prince enters a garden and realizes that his beloved rose is not unique after all. This fills him with disappointment, actually. Later, he meets the fox. The fox is seeking friendship and teaches the prince how to bond and connect with others, how to tame and to be tamed. The little prince learns the value of love, of care, of attention, of responsibility for what you love. That love is not so much the object itself, it's not the object, but the giving of yourself to the object. It's a feeling that comes alive with inside you. It's not something you see. and he teaches the little prince the secret. And now here is my secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. What is essential is invisible to the eye. The little prince learns that the flower is made special through the care and attention that he gives to the rose, because the rose and the prince have tamed each other. The little prince learns so much from this taming. When the prince and the pilot find themselves lost in a desert, running out of water, they share the experience of seeking a well. The little prince manages to pass on the teachings learned by the experience through another experience that he shares with the pilot. When they drank water from the well, it was more than just water. It was full of the love that they had shared. So it was a thirst that was quenched, not just a physical thirst, I guess. As he says, the water was indeed a different thing from ordinary nourishment. Its sweetness was born of the walk under the stars, the song of the pulley, the effort of my arms. It was good for the heart like a present. Through the quest, the little prince has passed on what lies beneath and offers a second gift to the pilot. The thing that is important is the thing that is not seen. More than a feeling. Now, the story of the little prince reminds me of my friend Rob, who comes to the chapel gardens every year, and he comes in remembrance of his dad. He has learnt from his dad's life so much about care and attention. He nurtures his dad's flowers, and through this action, his love from his father and for his father is brought to life. The love is alive through the flowers and time spent caring and nurturing for the plants and flowers, including those around his dad's grave. So it seems he and his dad are taming one another through care and attention, and love is living on through the flowers that he loves to share. The sunflowers he plants in the gardens here. The love is not visible, but the flowers are visible. They are incarnations of that spirit. And it's the same with God as I understand God. That great love coming alive through living in and by that loving spirit. A spirit that we bring alive through our loving activity. The little prince's relationship with the fox, the pilot, and his rose, as well as Rob's care for his dad's legacy, they remind me of a book I read a few years ago called Letters to Sam, A Grandfather's Lessons on Love, Loss, and the Gifts of Life by Daniel Gottlieb. Daniel, a quadriplegic, wrote the book as a way of offering help and advice to his grandson Sam, who is autistic, and it's to ease his attempts at navigating life, a life in which he will always be dependent upon others. It's a celebration of the worth and dignity of all people, that they can help teach people that no matter what happens to our bodies and our minds, our souls always remain whole. It's not sugar-coated, the book. Pain and how to live with pain is a constant theme actually throughout his letters to his grandson, as are fears that come with the pain. An example being Daniel's reaction to being diagnosed with these horrific sores. Daniel describes his fear of being abandoned, a real fear as his wife has left. His sister, who he depends upon, has been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and his children have left him. But he finds a way through with faith and humour. He never loses faith, and he never loses his sense of humour. He's offering a way to live spiritually alive. And the essence of this is responsibility. Daniel discloses in the letter that all of us have our own little patch of life that we are responsible for. It's not necessary to get a bigger patch or to make the patch better, actually. The point is to take care of it with love and with gratitude and with joy. This is the key to living spiritually alive. It's a book about faith and doing what is ours to do. It brings to my mind actually those words from the book of James in the New Testament. Faith without works is dead. It reminds me powerfully of Rob's responsibility for his dad's gardening, actually, exemplified in the love and care and attention that he pays to his father's grave, as well as the love and care and attention that he pays to his own family. That love that his father gave him comes alive through his loving action. I love how Daniel describes how all that he needed to heal his horrific sores was already within him. That the key is to take care of that, to be responsible for his 3 millimetres actually that the sores were, as he wrote. The doctor explained. Yes, he said, wounds do need oxygen to heal, but the oxygen is in the blood, not in the air. Everything a wound needs to heal is already in your body, he explained. We just have to get access to those nutrients and to let them work. Daniel writes, those words stayed with me. If that was the way the body healed, what about the human spirit? Remembering the old prophetic story that tells how infants are born with all the wisdom that they need to live, I realized that everything we needed to heal our hurts, our heart's wounds, might already be in us too. It's already in there. The great reality deep down within, as another great book said. And isn't that so true? Everything that we need is already here. We just need to learn to take care of it and make best use of it. Like a flower, we just need to nurture the flower for the flower to thrive. We just need to take care of it like the little prince did with his rose. This to me is the universal lesson, the key to me to the spiritual life, making most of what is yours, of being responsible for what is yours. This is your gift given. The key for Daniel was to take care of his piece of the universe, his 3 millimetres, his responsibility. As he wrote, Sam, part of the reason I'm at peace with my life is that I take care of the part of the universe that I'm responsible for. I haven't made it bigger or better. I haven't changed it, but I have cared for it. Writing these letters to you is just one of my many ways of tending my 3 millimetres. A lesson for us all, isn't it, really? We want to make marks in the earth. We just need to take care of the earth, the holy ground at our feet. Now, the key for us, for each of us, is to find our own 3 millimetres, our own rose, our own legacy that we need to nurture and pass on and share. To love and to care for it when our time is up, to give back whatever life has been lent to us. Because life is only ever lent to us. We don't own anything really. Now, whatever this might be for each of us, is for each of us to discover ourselves. It doesn't have to be anything big and glorious. By taking care of what is close at hand sounds like the embodiment of faith and works to me. As Viktor Frankl stated, it was a responsibility for each individual to find their own meaning in life. But that this, to do so, is perhaps the ultimate freedom we're given. You can't prescribe that. It can't be a duty in the sense as I've always understood duty. But it's more than freedom. It's our ultimate responsibility to choose to do this. take care of what is ours, to do with what we've been given, to make the most of the gift that is our lives. There's a wonderful ancient Jewish story about Rabbi Gamaliel. He was asked by one of his students if he thought he had done enough with his life. He pondered the question for a moment before answering. When I die, God will not ask me, Gamaliel, why were you not an Abraham or a Moses? God will ask me, were you Gamaliel? Were you Gamaliel? To be who we are means that we must embrace our God-given natures and our God-given talents. It means that we accept who we are and make the most of what we are. It means that we do not try to be something or someone that we are not. We take responsibility for what we have been gifted. Our job is to nurture and to develop these gifts, but not merely for ourselves, for the good of all, to share. For the little prince, it was his rose and the invisible love that came alive in him when he did so. It was this that made that ordinary rose extraordinary to him, the love and the care and the nurture. For my friend Rob, it is his father's legacy, a love that keeps him focused on what he is here for. For Daniel Gottlieb, it was his 3 millimeters. The key is to be responsible, to love what is our responsibility. This is the spiritual life in its entirety. It is purpose, and it is what gives our lives true, full meaning, really. And in so doing, we may just begin to create that kingdom of love right here, right now. Amen. So I'm going to end with some words of blessing. You know, we need to bless more, and we can all bless. You don't have to be special to bless. And we bless when we give ourselves wholeheartedly to life. So may the love that gives to life its beauty, the reverence that gives to life its sacredness, and the purposes that give to life its deep significance, may they be strong within us and lead us into ever deepening relationships with all of life. May the love of God come alive within us all, and may it do so in all that we feel, in all that we think, in all that we say, and all that we do. Amen.